There'll be some spells of sunshine, so most of us will see a spell of rain for a time on Sunday, but still fairly mild, 11 to 14 Celsius. Bye-bye.
Join Simon McCoy as he brings you the top stories live.
The ball is entirely in the UK's court. We could have got our tennis correspondent to report on this.
The latest in sport.
Heaven knows how they're dealing with this on the court.
The heat or the wind? I'm not quite sure.
Well, both.
The day's weather.
It's getting colder.
And undeniable chemistry.
He's still laughing.
We have to talk to each other.
There's only one Simon.
So you're the real McCoy.
Afternoon Live with Simon McCoy, weekdays at 2 p.m. on the BBC News Channel.
Arron Banks, one of the most influential figures in the Leave campaign during the 2016 EU referendum, has been referred to the National Crime Agency over criminal allegations. They'll investigate whether some of the £8 million of loans and donations Mr Banks gave to the campaign came from impermissible sources. In the last hour, Mr Banks welcomed the inquiry, adding that he never received any foreign or Russian funding. We'll have the latest on this breaking story. Also, this lunchtime, we need to focus on catching criminals. The message from Police Chief Sarah Thornton. The government says she's right to prioritise.
What is really key is it's about harm. What harm is it causing you, your family, your business and your community? And different crimes cause different harm in different parts of the country.
A Google search for its own staff as workers around the world stage walkouts in protest at the company's treatment of women. Medicinal cannabis products can now be legally prescribed to some patients across the UK for the first time. Taking whale watching to new heights. The scientists using the latest imaging technology to count the numbers of whale species in our oceans from space.
And coming up on BBC News, Owen Farrell returns to fly half for England's first autumn international against South Africa on Saturday. Ben Teo will start at centre after just one appearance this season.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. Arron Banks, a senior figure in the Leave campaign during the 2016 EU referendum, has been referred to the National Crime Agency for alleged criminal offences. The Electoral Commission has referred him and the company he founded to promote Brexit, Better for the Country, to the National Crime Agency. The inquiry will focus on £8 million of loans from Mr Banks to his company, which ran the unofficial Leave.eu campaign. In the last hour, he's welcomed the investigation, adding that he never received any foreign or Russian funding during the campaign. Let's go to Westminster and our assistant political editor, Norman Smith. And just how significant a figure is he, Norman?
Well, Arron Banks is the sort of pugnacious, larger-than-life businessman who bankrolled Nigel Farage and his campaign, the Leave.eu campaign, which was the secondary of the Brexit campaign, so not the main Boris Johnson vote.
It's come out to 1:15, our top story this lunchtime. Arron Banks, one of the most influential figures in the Leave campaign during the 2016 EU referendum, has been referred to the National Crime Agency over criminal allegations. And coming up, why social media fake news is being blamed for a fall in children getting the MMR jab.
Coming up on BBC News, Olympic champion Simone Biles is attempting to become the first woman to win 4 all-around titles at the World Gymnastics Championships. Gold would make her a 12-time world champion.
In just 5 days' time, US voters get their first opportunity at the ballot box to pass judgment on Donald Trump's presidency. In the midterm elections, Americans will elect members of both chambers of Congress, and the results really matter for the president. In the battle for the House of Representatives, his Republican Party currently holds 235 seats, Democrats 193. With all seats being contested, the Democrats must gain 23 seats in order to take power. To stop that happening, Mr. Trump has been campaigning hard, urging his supporters, some of the most devoted of whom are evangelical Christians. Our North America correspondent Chris Buckler has been
using that cold, frosty side to autumn. We're picking up something windier and milder. And yes, there will be some rain around at times, but not all the time. Back to you, Simon.
Alina, thank you very much. A reminder of our main stories this lunchtime. Arron Banks, one of the most influential figures in the Leave campaign during the 2016 EU referendum, has been referred to the National Crime Agency over criminal allegations. He denies any wrongdoing. We need to focus on catching criminals. The message from Police Chief Sarah Thornton. The government says she's right to prioritise. That's all from the BBC News at 1, so it's goodbye from us. On BBC One, we now join the BBC's news teams where you are. From me, very good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Hugh Wizencroft with a look at the day's sport here on BBC News. And England have named their team to face South Africa in the first Autumn International this weekend. Saracens' Owen Farrell will start at fly half at